going on, Jeromes? A beautiful Tuesday, beautiful day for some Q&A. Thank you, everyone who submitted questions. We're going to get better at answering questions. So there you go. First up, sports credit. With Travis Hunter saying he will only play on a team that lets him play both ways, do you think he will fall? Also, if Travis Hunter is only play corner, what is his draft stock, and where's the right spot for him to go in that case? Thank you. So I don't think that it's going to affect his draft stock. I think that obviously he's blustering a little bit. I want to play both ways, but it's not physically possible. Like 140 snaps a game, and even at times when he was at Colorado, which obviously is much lower level of competition than the National Football League, you saw him wear down late in games, and he was gassed, and you can't blame him, right? Now, obviously, he loves the game. You love that spirit, but I think that he's going to have to choose one position and play some at the other, right? Also, you have to factor into game preparation every single week, where splitting bandwidth, studying as a corner, you're studying your receivers, studying the offense that you're going to be facing, offensively the other way around. I mean, it's just not enough hours in the day to be properly prepared at both spots and then physically play both spots. It's just not going to happen. Buddy Shohei Ohtani, he's Babe Ruth. I don't know. I think that his floor, I don't think he gets by the Browns at 2. Right, and if he's strictly a corner, I think that he would still go there because that's how good of a cornerback he is. Wide receiver, I still think that he'd be wide receiver 1, but maybe not as high as the Browns at 2. I think he certainly probably wouldn't get by the Raiders at 6, but yeah, I think that Hunter is a special talent. I'm interested to see where this goes. Like I said, I don't think that he plays both ways full time, but you never know. I kind of want to see it just to see what the contract extension is going to look like. Like I'm playing both positions. Pay me twice as much. It'd be kind of fun, man. Next. Also, I don't think he's fallen to the Vikings, but this is kind of a fun graphic. Next. Brighton Jorgensen. I feel like the odds are that whoever Minnesota picks outside of left guard will be a rotation of some kind with the pieces Minnesota's added. That being said, between Kenneth Grant, Malachi, as well as Colson Loveland, who would you take at 24? I guess mine would be Loveland for some reason. I guess here's my draft crushes here. Keep up the good work. So those 3 specifically. So Grant, Starks, and Loveland. I think that it would be Grant, Loveland, Starks. And this is not like Michigan bias, but I think that Grant, the pass rushing upside is there. I think that he has a chance to be Linval Joseph. Loveland, obviously the connection with J.J. McCarthy would be great. Also, you don't know what's going to happen with Josh Oliver, who's in a contract year. You don't know what's going to happen with Hawkinson, who really needs to prove it this year. And Starks would be fantastic on the back end, but I feel like the safety need has been overblown, especially since there's a lot of love and confidence in Theo Jackson. Now Harrison, probably last season. Metellus is in a contract here, so I see on paper the need, but they're going to extend Metellus. Theo Jackson's going to be a rock-solid starter, and they'll go from there. Next. Alan Uhealer. Yeah. Best case trade-up scenario, team target. I think it's something Coolhan Kwesi has up his sleeve. So I actually thought about this. The Vikings roster is pretty damn stacked, right? And it actually benefits them that they don't have a lot of draft picks, because otherwise, say the Vikings had 10, 11 draft picks. A lot of those players would not be making the rooster. Now, you'd like to have them, sure, but it could be a spot too where the Vikings are in line for some comp love next year. I think that if the right scenario came up, they could use that to move up, whether it's into day 2 or even higher up in round 1. Now, I think that if the Vikings wanted a small trade up, I really don't see it outside of maybe the Chargers at 22. But if they really wanted to really go for it, I think the Panthers at 8, I think they certainly would be interested in trading down. The Saints at 9, because I honestly don't think that they're in on Shedeur. I think that they're in full tank mode for Arch Manning next year. Plus, with their cap situation, they need as many rookies as possible to perform, so a trade down would make sense. The Niners at 11 have been very open about looking to trade down. They had to move a lot of pieces, and with Brock Purdy's contract coming up, they're going to have to hit on some rookies as well. So I think if the right player is available, like say Will Johnson falls out of the top 10, I think the Vikings can make a small move up there, or really just swing it for the fence. Say Mason Graham gets to 8. Like, what do you do? I think that the Vikings should certainly go for that. Or, we just said that Travis Hunter's not getting by 2, but what if he does? It's probably not happening. Yeah, but I think trade up is very unlikely, but you never know. I want full-on chaos in this draft. I think that would be a lot of fun. Next, Nagasaki. I think I'm allowed to talk about that. 2 questions, Andy. If you make the Cousins trade and get a second, who should the Vikings take first and second? I think that it would be a combination of a offensive lineman and a D-back. Right. Sure, D-line certainly could be in that mix, but in terms of if the Vikings, so hypothetically, we talked about if the Vikings do the Osweiler trade and get extra draft capital in exchange for Cousins and cap relief with the Falcons. But I think that if you get the Falcons pick at 46, I think that there's going to be such a strong bubble of corners available at that spot. Maybe Siobhan Revell, maybe Hairston, maybe Trey Amos, etc. And in the first round, I think that depending on what happens, it could be the other way around too. Right, because say Will Johnson gets to 24, unlikely, but you never know. And then at 46, like maybe the Vikings go with one of those tackles that kick inside that they had for 30 visits. Marcus Bowe from Purdue, Ariante Ursary from Minnesota, Jonas Savanaya from Arizona, or Donovan Jackson gets that far, or Tyler Booker, or whoever. Right? So I think that if the Vikings end up with the first and second, I don't know, like gut feeling just says it will be a offensive lineman and a corner, if that makes sense. And also Desmond Watson. I think Desmond Watson needs to play about 350. Who knows? But him setting line of scrimmage is fun. Also, he would be the solution and the problem with the tush push. Just imagine him lining up in the backfield, either carrying the ball because he's a goal line running back as well, or pushing, or him just stopping the tush push. Just line him up. Let's see what happens. Kind of be fun to see. Lastly, Casper Kidd, OG Jerome. Jordan Mason is only going to be his age 26 season this year and 250 NFL touches. How much do you think that factors into both, one, a priority of drafting a running back in a strong running back class or going to UDFA, as well as the style of running back they target in the draft or UDFA? So, Jordan Mason is a one cut, foot in the dirt and go running back. He's got some power, can run man gap as well. Kevin O'Connell talked about he's a better pass protector than he gets credit for. I don't know. Limited as a receiver, and even back to Georgia Tech, that was the same way. But Mason, he's on a 2-year deal, and I think that his style of play, the fact that he does have low mileage in the National Football League is a benefit, but also like he's going to take a pounding. Like I think this is going to be, he plays the attrition position, also his style. I think that the Vikings 2-year deal, I think, is perfect. I think anything longer than that, that's questionable. But Mason's going to play his heart out, which is fantastic for the Vikings. I think that given the lack of draft picks, I think that they should focus on UDFA running backs. I think that they're going to be able to get a really solid player because it's been compared to 2 running back classes in one, which makes a lot of sense. There's going to be a lot of really good running backs day 3 that contribute, whether it's Devin Neal of Kansas, DJ Giddens, Kansas State, RJ Harvey, UCF is a big-time crush, Damian Martinez, Miami, Bashil Tootin from Virginia Tech. That's just naming a few. Clem Mullings, Michigan. And I think a couple players that could be UDFAs, Woody Marks from USC, Donovan Edwards, Michigan, could be in that mix, and I think that the Vikings should focus on UDFAs, and that's what they've done. Also, Brashard Smith will be a ton of fun in the mid rounds. Let's go, man. Anyways, that's it. That's at Q&A on this beautiful day. You guys are the best. You know what to do. Skol, production value.